Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are or whenever you are in the world. This is Mike Van Doozy with the Hopeful Headlines, and I'm excited. This is episode number 1. Now, we're going to take the first couple of episodes and explain exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it, because this is really important. There's something fantastic that's about to happen, and it involves y'all. I want to start off by just saying thank you that your support over the years has afforded us the time and revenue to be able to do things like this. And we've got a bigger plan that we've been working on for years, and this is another step, and now we're finally able to share it with y'all. Now, Tiny, the micro, is that the title says it all. It's going to be hopeful headlines. You know, every time you listen to the news, it seems like 99% of it's bad, right? So it's tough to find the good news. We're going to dig in, find it, share with y'all, and hopefully we can put a little spring in your step, right? Just brighten up your day a little bit. We're also going to be sharing your stories. You know, we want to hear your good news stories. You don't have to share your name and location and that. Just we're going to set up an email if you want to share a good news story, and we'll share it with everybody else, because if it made you feel good, it's bound to make someone else feel good too, right? So that's part of it. That's going to be, you know, the nuts and bolts of what this podcast is. But bigger picture, what we're working towards is that Keely has been helping people over the years. She's been a muralist. If any of y'all have been with us any length of time, you know that we used to do murals, faux finishes, decorative finishes. I would do handiwork, and we worked as a team. I would build things, do the mud work, repair drywall, paint base coats, and then she'd come in and do all the pretty stuff on top of it. And we met a lot of fantastic people. And unfortunately, sometimes we meet people in bad situations. And Keely, being the kind-hearted person that she is, always asks if there's anything she can do. And a lot of these people will see her portfolio and see the things that she can do, and they'll say, well, if you don't mind, could you paint her a little, you know, something, this or that? And Keely would always do it. And we just haven't shared that with the world, because one thing, I didn't know anything about the internet, but there's a level of cynicism out there whenever you try to help someone and you film it. You guys know that, and people forget that there's people actually being helped by it, but the other people, you know, on the internet, everybody's got to say, well, you know, you filmed it, you're doing it for attention, you're doing it for views, right? Well, we didn't want to put up with that negativity, so Keely's done a lot. We haven't documented it. We haven't, you know, taken pictures. We haven't done videos. We don't film the people that she does it for. She even does, like, Secret Santa. We'll go up and get the little name tags off the Christmas tree for the kids in need, and she'll paint something, wrap it up, put it back under the tree, and we never even see that kid. Our name's not on it. We have no idea, you know, if they liked it or not, or what. It's just doing something for the sake of just doing good. Well, now, because of all of y'all, because you've supported me, because you've helped this channel grow, and many channels over social media, we're making a living at being full-time creators. We can share some of these stories because people can't say it's for the views or for the attention. I get millions of views on YouTube, and millions of views on TikTok, and millions of views on Facebook. And I think we're almost at 500,000 followers on Facebook, and we don't need the attention. We're not doing this for attention. We're doing it for the sake of doing good. And a couple of years ago, we wouldn't do it because we wouldn't want that negativity. It would just weigh us down to where we wouldn't feel like doing good anymore. And now we're at the point where we can do it because of y'all. And that's why, you know, I'm starting this podcast. I can get on here. I don't have to make a video. I can just come on and just say thank you. I really, really appreciate it. You guys do not know. You know, I get a lot of comments like, oh, you're an awesome guy, and we need more people in the world like you. But the truth is, we need more people like you guys out there. Is people that don't get the thanks, that do support other people, that help out and want to do better. So we're going to be sharing a lot of these stories because we want to show you how possible it is. We think it's time that technology's come along. We can share, we can reach people around the globe. We can help people out. Our channel's grown enough to where we don't need the attention. We can do it just for the sake of being good. So if only 10 people listen to the podcast, or only 3 people, watch a video about it, then if it helps them and it brings them joy, then that's all that matters. Also, with the internet, and the ability to connect with people. We can bring you guys along for the ride. We can bring you guys, you don't have to see just an end product. You can see it as it happens. You guys can point us towards someone. It might be one of your friends, someone that you know, and we can all be in on it. We started out when Keely was doing this. It was when the home improvement shows all started. And when Keely would see something like them paint a room, she'd be like, oh, I can do that. And they build something. I'm like, I can do that. And we're like, we can do all of this. We just need the time and resources, right? But we had to do our work. And, you got bills to pay and you got to eat. So we do our work. And in our spare time, whenever we get spare time, instead of running out doing, other things, Keely will paint something for someone in need. And we toss it in the mail. And most of the time, we don't share stories like that. But I want to share one real quick with y'all. And it's kind of why we're doing it and why we keep doing it and why we're at this moment in time where we think it's the opportune time for us to actually take it to the next level. Keely grew up in a small town, and I moved her to a big city because to do our work, paint murals, it's a luxury. Not like millions of dollars luxury, but it's just something. If you build a house, you need a plumber, you need an electrician, you need an architect, right? You don't need a muralist. So we would be at the end of the budget. And most people, would be stretched, the budget when they build a house or do a remodel. And we would, get a lot of work like that. But most of our work, the bulk of our work came from the people who could afford, to do the extra, that they go through all the necessary stuff and then they could do the pretty stuff on top of that. So I moved Keely to where we could get that business. And she's always hated like big city life. I grew up in Miami, so I like it and I like the convenience. But after we got our clientele set up, we moved out to a small town, and we were close enough, like 90 minutes from our clients, so that we could still drive back and forth, still do our work, but then still be in a little town where Keely could enjoy herself, go to state parks on nature trails, and we could not take the car. You could just walk to downtown and go to the local coffee shop. And they even had like a soda fountain where, like they used to have drawing the Coke into the little ice cream floats and little Christmas parades and things like that. And it was fantastic. And we were having fun. We were shopping one day and somebody handed us a flyer. It was a little girl, local cheerleader, was only like 13. And she had been diagnosed with terminal cancer, and they were asking for donations. Their family was in need. And we were new. We moved somewhere, running your own business. Don't have a whole lot to spare, but what we do have is Keely's talent. And so we called her mom and asked if there was anything we could do. Would she like a little mural? And her mom said, yeah. So we talked to her, asked her what her daughter's favorite things were, and it found out she was going to have an extended stay at the hospital, about a month. And it was going to happen in a couple of weeks. So we took a couple of weeks when we weren't working, and we contacted some of our clients that we were talking about that had like the extra money. And a lot of them, out of the kindness of their heart, donated money, donated materials, not knowing who this was, not knowing the outcome, not knowing, how it all turned out, but just out of the goodness of their hearts, they gave. And when this little girl did go into the hospital, we went and redid a room from the ground up. We were just going to paint a mural, and then all the different things the little girl wanted. We ended up, somebody gave us carpet. I tore out the carpet, put down new carpet. So from the ground to the ceiling, Keely painted clouds on the ceiling with the sun and butterflies and birds and flowers and pink walls and little rhinestones everywhere, the girl's name. We built furniture. There were some local companies donated some furniture, and what wasn't donated, I could go to a thrift shop and I could build it into something else. Keely could paint it, and it looked like new. We built a little bed. She needed extra storage. It was a small room, and we built a captain's bed with drawers that were underneath. But we also made it like a princess bed, so we built a canopy up above it. And she had this little canopy with her name and rhinestones and birds and flowers, and it was awesome. But we didn't film it. We took a couple of pictures. We had a crappy camera. I didn't know anything about technology. We didn't do a whole lot back then. We were just working, trying to make ends meet. And then it wasn't like going to be like the shows where there's a homecoming and we want to see what happens. We did our job. That's what we were set out to do, was just to bring happiness and joy to someone. So all the people that helped us gave us the ability to do that. We did it. We did as much as we could before she came home, and then we just left. And we weren't going to be there at homecoming. And if we didn't hear another word from them, we were happy we did what we wanted to do. And that's what we need more of in this world, right? And if you can't do that and film it and put it out because of the cynicism that's out there. And, some people have tough skin and can just ignore it. But I just want to put good into the world. I don't want to deal with all the negativity. A few weeks later, her mom called us and asked if we could stop by. She wanted to give us a little something. And we stopped by on the way to work, and we met this little girl, sweet little girl. And she gave us a card, and it said, thank you, for a room. She really enjoyed it. And Keely said she was sorry that she didn't get to do everything that she wanted to do. And the little girl said, how could it have been any better? And that moment, just stuck with me. And I think about it a lot. The world went through a tough time a few years ago. And when we went into lockdown, and I saw people fighting over toilet paper. And I hear people complaining about the most mundane things. And you think that this girl was in one of the worst situations imaginable. And she was grateful for what she got. She didn't want anything else. And all of us out here, as bad as things are, we still have it so much better than a lot of people out there. So I think about that a lot. And that's why we do what we do. So because of y'all, because you've helped us grow a channel where we've got millions of views, we've got followers, we've got, channels on several platforms. We don't need the attention. So we're not doing it for attention. That level of cynicism is gone. We don't have to deal with that anymore. So because of y'all, we're able to share this with you, and we're able to take it to the next step and actually help more people. So I wanted to take this time to say thank you to everyone. That this has become more than I could have ever imagined in Keely, and it's priceless, really. So just take a second, catch my breath. So that's what we're up to, is that we're going to share these stories. And the fantastic thing is that in the next couple of years, this isn't tomorrow, but in the next couple of years, we plan on hitting the road. And it's because of this moment in time that I've learned to use the internet, that I've learned that I can connect with people all over the planet, that we can share stories, that we can put good out into the world, that I could do it from my house and I don't have to ask anyone's permission. Now we can take it even bigger than that. So when you see the little possibilities like that, and that's why we want to share the stories with you, is because there's a lot of you out there that want to help other people, that are good-hearted, but because of the cynicism out there and the negativity, you don't do it. And we want to show you that you might not be at the level like where my wife and I, where we can do a total tear stuff down to the studs and rebuild a whole room, right? And paint it and make it look wonderful. But all of us have special abilities or talents or just anything that you could paint a greeting card. You could write a story. You could sing a song. You could bake a cookie. Just off the top of my head, there's so many things that we can do to bring joy to other people. And some of us are hesitant to do it because of all of the negativity out there. So by sharing these stories, this isn't just sharing a good news story and just to make us feel good. This is putting good into the world. This is part of a bigger picture. So we're going to be doing this for years, and I just wanted to do this first episode so that when people ask, why are you doing what you're doing, I can point them back to an episode, and it'll be easy to say, go listen to episode number 1. So thank all of y'all out there for your continued support. Because of it, you've afforded us this opportunity to do more, to put good into the world, to be able to share it with y'all. And then we're going to be able to hit the road, because guess what? The internet's everywhere now, and there's mobile hotspots. We can actually film. We can live stream with y'all. We can talk in real time. We can share some of these things as they're in progress. We want to be the example of how social media can be good. The internet is what we put into it. So together, like we said, we can't get rid of all the bad in the world, but we're just going to try and tip the scales a little bit in the favor of good. So thank you. I can't wait till episode number 2. We're going to talk a little bit more about this and explain why it's so important and what really drives me. And hopefully it's going to inspire some of you too. So as always, first off, thank you to everyone, and live to inspire, keep on growing, be the change. I'm Mike Van Duzy. This is the Hopeful Headlines. We'll catch you later.